Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you guys to the 2022-2023 Superintendent Breakfast. Now, may you guys please stand for the presentation of the colors.
Forward, march. Mark time, march. Color guard, hold. Center, face. Superintendent, I request permission to post the colors. Post the colors. Post. Post. Freeze it. Arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order. Arms. Post. Right. Face. Forward. March.
Okay, you guys may be seated. We're going to start our program, and we're going to begin with our JROTC and leadership creeds read by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Elena Cox and Cadet First Sergeant Zoe Wade.
I am a proud Wichita cadet. I will always conduct myself to bring credit to my family, country, school, and the Corps of Cadets. I am loyal and patriotic. I am the future of the United States of America. I do not lie, cheat, or steal, and always be accountable for my actions and deeds. I will practice good citizenship and patriotism. I will work hard to improve my mind and strengthen my body. I will seek the mantle of leadership and stand prepared to uphold the Constitution and the American way of life. May God grant me the strength to always live by this creed.
I am a cadet in the Wichita Leadership Program. I will be respectful at all times. I'll maintain a high standard of integrity. I wear my uniform with honor and pride. I'll take pride in myself, school, and community. I will strive to help my peers achieve success. I'll participate in leadership activities. I accept the leadership challenge.
Okay, well, I'll be the first person to give off my speech, and I'm just going to start by saying good morning to everybody, superintendent, members of the board, staff, instructors, and cadets. My name is Cadet Colonel Caro Marisol Lara, and I'm a senior at Wichita East High School. I am also the 2022-2023 City Corps Commander for the Wichita Public Schools. And today I'll be talking about how leadership and JROTC has influenced and helped me plan my future. By a show of hands, I want to know how many of you guys knew what you wanted to be whenever you were in elementary? Whenever the teacher asked you, what do you want to be? Very few of you guys, but okay. It was probably things like a princess, a firefighter, a police officer, or a nurse. In my case, I wanted to be a soldier. I was like 3 years old, maybe. I don't know how my teacher didn't have a heart attack. She was shocked. Everybody was like, "You're like 2 feet tall. How are you wanting to be a soldier?" But anywho, as the years went on, people kept on changing their answer. They kept on saying things more serious, like maybe I want to go to college, maybe I want to get a degree. That didn't change. I still want to be a soldier. Entering middle school, I knew that there was going to be a lot of challenges because classes got harder. But if anything, I knew that there was a leadership program, and I wanted to be not only a part of the class, show up, sit in class every day, but I wanted to be a part of the program. I wanted to participate, to be involved, to let myself be guided by my instructor. Now, did that go as planned? Yes, but no. Being a teenager meant not liking when people tell you what to do, or whenever you have to put in more work than expected. Or how many of you guys have seen a teenager throw a tantrum whenever you tell them they're wrong? Yeah. In that age, we're all very confused because we don't know what it is to do. We get confused. We don't know right from wrong, but in ourselves, we're like, yeah, no, I'm right. I'll always be right. Not really, but we want to feel it in ourselves. I was that type of a teenager. Not just that, but teenagers have a disease called laziness. I'm guilty of it till this day. I'm gonna be fully honest with you guys. Yeah, that disease might not go away, but it's okay. It is okay. We will work around it because it's a matter of yes. I can't say that being in leadership didn't really do much for me because I had my instructor, Major Shelley Harmon, who was always on top of me. She was always telling me, get your work done, get your grades up, be involved, participate, be the role model. And that's how I learned to be an example. She made me, the first week she made me sit in class, and I was like, yeah, no, I got this. I am totally ready. 2 weeks later, I don't got this. Let me think through that again. But anywho, I needed to give the right mindset of never giving up. Even though leadership did teach me a lot of things like how to be responsible or how to publicly speak, it has always been a good thing to know how hard it is that you're willing to work and how far you're willing to go. In high school, unfortunately, freshman year, I couldn't take JROTC, but that was because we had other classes, other requirements, and that's completely fine. But it was a hard year because we all suffered. We had to go through COVID. We had to be locked up in our house. And I'm pretty sure by day 4, y'all were like, yeah, no, all of y'all, all my family members, get out. Leave. I will be in my individual room perfectly fine. But coming back to school, being online, it helped me realize how much I really wanted things, how much I wanted to participate, how much I wanted to be there for people. And that convinced me that the following year, sophomore year, I was going to be a part of JROTC. I was going to be the cadet who worked very hard and achieved many achievements. But just because you say, I'm gonna get here, that doesn't always mean it's gonna be easy. There was a lot of difficulties, but we made it. I ended up being the flight commander at East last year, and I'm very fortunate to be the district commander this year. And it helped me realize that whenever you set the proper mindset and have the right people by your side, anything is possible. In life, you're gonna meet a lot of people. Many of them are gonna bring you down. Some of them are gonna bring you up. But to everyone, just know that every single part of life, it's gonna make you stronger. Now, I'm a senior, and I've made the first big decision of my future. 5 days into being 17, I lifted my right hand and signed an 8-year contract into the Kansas Army National Guard. Not only did I choose an 8-year contract, but I chose in my opinion, one of the hardest jobs for a woman. I decided to join the infantry. It was a shock to me whenever I came back home from MEPS, because everybody told me, you will be the first woman in the state of Kansas to go through the National Guard and to complete 22 weeks of OSA. So even though I have a lot of things coming up in the future, the following year in 2023, I'll be graduating 3 times. I'll be graduating high school, basic training, and AIT. Hopefully, I will re-enlist again and then become a drill sergeant, and then I'll be off to college.
First of all, I'd like to say good morning, Superintendent. Good morning, all of our distinguished guests. Today, I'm speaking on communication and how JROTC helps form that. Communication, it's not that hard, right? Well, I mean, half of you here probably know the struggles of communicating with someone else. So, when I was younger, I believed that communication was pretty simple. I had the toddler mentality. I want that, I'm gonna get that, right? We all have younger siblings that were just like, gimme, 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 right? However, during my freshman year at ROTC, it was something that I decided to join, and I looked in. I did my first couple weeks, and on the first weeks, we did something based on communication. And it amazed me about what communication was. It wasn't just something simple about asking and receiving. It was a complex thing that included things like eye contact, how to talk to people, body language. It was more intricate than just conversation. Like how a deflected body position or averted eyes could be someone that, didn't really want to talk, which is okay. Or different things, like how having an open stance or being able to be comfortable enough thank you, to go around and, talk with people and be open. That's something that is really important. And it took many different types, and it took many different days of me learning these things to be able to get better at it. And so having them all work together was very difficult to learn at first. And it took a lot of time because my family was in completely different ways. Like we had something that I learned later called passive listening. It's called radio listening because you only tune in when you want to. Yeah. I learned there are different types where active listening isn't just, listening to the conversation, waiting for your response. It's listening with an open mind, being ready to take those questions and look at yourself and take an introspective look and be like, okay, they're right about this, so how am I going to form my argument against or with them or against that? And later, as the commander of the Falcon group, it took a whole lot more because during COVID, we had to add on doing electronic communication. Now, I'm pretty sure most of the officers here can understand how difficult electronic communication is, especially with people that don't necessarily like to respond. Emails, very big. Side note, all you the commanders here, make sure people respond to your emails by sending you an email back. Very helpful. Like that, you send out an email and they have to send one back to make sure that they know what they're going to do. During COVID, it was all compounded, and I had to learn another lesson, which was, don't use different type of communication things, such as Snapchat. The chats delete. So if you put some important information in there, like, hey, be there at 1700, it doesn't delete itself, and everyone's like, oh, well, where am I supposed to be? What time is it? And throughout ROTC, all these different lessons I have learned came together to help make my unit successful during those times of COVID, so that way everyone can understand what they're doing. Before JROTC, I never would have thought about how intricate and detailed communication was, but because of JROTC, I learned how to do that effective communication, how to talk with people, how to be a little bit less nervous, and how to make sure that everyone knew that I was open and willing to communicate with them. And I am going to be so happy to to be able to go to the Capitol this year to represent USD 259 and use these skills to represent us in the best way possible to the best of my abilities, and to be able to use these skills for the rest of my life to help other people around me. Thank you.
So, good morning, Superintendent and fellow guest. I am the Corps Command Sergeant Major for 2022. I go to Northwest High School. Yeah, I didn't really expect to get Corps. I was really aiming for Battalion Commander, so this was still getting used to it. All right, so today I'm going to speak about the JROTC program and what it has done for me and all its activities and opportunities. So, just to start off, JROTC is designed to teach cadets the value of leadership, citizenship, the value of community service, and accountability. And then I want to talk about my colonel and when he was teaching a class of winning colors. There are red, brown, blue, and green. Each color is a color of me. Color me is blue as a relator and a builder. Color me brown as a leader. Color me green as a creative thinker and planner. And color me red as an adventurer. I used those winning colors when I went to JCLC this summer, and me and cadets from many different schools throughout Wichita attended, and cadets arrived eager to meet new people. Okay, the program fostered a spirit and teamwork and community and leadership, and the lessons and friendships that were built during this time were great. It was phenomenal having everyone there and different personalities being there, and everyone working together as one during JCLC. When we had the rocket building exercises, everyone was pitching in their own thoughts on how to do it. We used everyone's thoughts, and most of the rockets flew. And then we also did drown proofing, and when someone didn't understand what to do or how to do it correctly, we had cadets come and help each other. And it was great seeing that and making sure that you help your team and seeing them succeed. And then I want to also talk about drill. I've been on my drill team all 4 years of high school. I love drill. And even though it gets really hard with everyone butting heads about how to do a certain drill movement right, or whose fault it was for it being done incorrectly at a meet, afterwards we all agree that we all could have communicated better. And we all could have just worked as a team to get the right command and get the right step. And then we go and ask our colonel and sergeant on how to do it correctly. Instead of just saying, no, the way you're doing it doesn't sound correct. We go and we talk about it and we figure out a new way to exceed the command. Also want to talk about archery, the program for archery. It is very hard when you're talking with someone and you're like, it's my turn to shoot for practice. I am better than you, I need to do it. There isn't any more of that. We had archery first time last year, and the beginning of it was really rough. We didn't really come together as a team for that point. And throughout the time of archery, and once they went to Utah for nationals, I heard that everyone from different schools were intertwining and communicating and talking to each other, and they had a great time. And they didn't just stay in their shells. And I believe that ROTC has done so much for my confidence, and so much for everyone, being open to everyone else throughout the public school district. JROTC has provided me the opportunity to get to know who I am as an appointed leader. During this time, I grew as a leader and learned what it is to relate to people and the importance of planning. As Corps CSM and as my school's S5, I'm in charge of the military balls we're planning. We're gonna have a district ball sometime in April, and I would like everyone that is here to come out and come to that. And I want to thank everyone. I want to thank the veterans, past and present, who serve our nation, and I give a special thank you to my father, my family, Colonel Hester, my principal, and my colonel.
Good morning. My name is Cadet Captain Maya Rubio. I'm from Southeast High School. My speech is going to be called Commands for Growth. This is a speech talking about my experience being a leader through the JROTC program. Forward, march! My first drill practice opened with this command. It also opened my eyes to a whole new aspect of life. These commands would inspire me to be so much more than I ever imagined. If I'm being honest, I joined JROTC because of how easy the class sounded. My brother, who is now in the Army, took this exact same course as I am, but never truly got involved. See, I knew the instructors, I knew what they taught, but I never really knew how much you could make out of one class. That first drill practice was a turning point in my life. Leadership in JROTC is a component of the program. We are taught all about being leaders, and we sit in class with real-life examples as classmates. I just want to emphasize classmates because that's just truly amazing what this program has done to students. Slowly, I found myself having more role models and goals, not just in JROTC, but in my personal life. My friends were commanders of drill teams. That inspired me to someday be in that exact same position. Last year, as a sophomore, I commanded the Southeast High School JV Color Guard. Commanding was never easy, but it pushed me to continuously become better. If I get second place, let's say in a drill meet, I always strive and try to get first. And JROTC doesn't just create leaders, but it constantly pushes all cadets to become better versions of themselves. Leadership isn't just about being loud and strict like some might think at first glance when they see the program. It's about building a connection where you and your team trust each other enough to follow, give directions, and be there when you need someone. Because of the leadership positions I have been in, I have brought friends together. I have created groups of people that create a positive environment. And that's just something you won't see in any other classroom. My first drill meet, I interacted with schools, staff, and leaders. None of them acted the same, but uphold many of the same values and discipline. Character is something you gain as you go through this JROTC program. You will learn respect for your cadets, instructors, and school. You will build morals, you'll build communication skills, and you will build selfless service. As I am going through this program, I must reflect on how I act and how others respond. In my own experience, I have seen myself grow as an individual with this program and my character develop. As a freshman, I joined the Southeast High School Raider team. The team inspired me to be resilient like my fellow cadets. I couldn't do any of the obstacles, and this was when I realized how hard being a year off of school really did. But I improved myself every day. I tried my best every day, even if it was just a little bit. The Raider team helped me build my character, like risk-taking and overcoming my fears. 2022 is my third year here in the JROTC program, and there are still many obstacles that I can't do, but I've built up my character, and I've gone so far being in this program, and it pushes me to never give up and to never stop trying. Platoon, halt! As that first drill practice came to an end, I knew as a freshman that I could become so much more than I was. I am proud that I joined JROTC and kept my goals to be where I am today. I am a staff member, just like those upperclassmen I look up to. I am resilient, just like that Raider captain that pushed me to my limits. I tried my best for the Honorary Cadet Board this year and won. I am a leader in the JROTC program who gets to inspire young cadets every day to hopefully be affected by this program and grow, just like I did. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Cadet Major Luis Urbina, and I actually have a question for the audience. Does anyone here know what the butterfly effect is? No takers?
It's the effect that if you look from this book, if you go back in time, and so say you touch the smallest thing, it like completely changes the whole picture.
Yeah, just like that. That a small effect can have a great change over a long period of time. That is what I believe the JROTC program has been in my life. The reason that I joined the JROTC program is because one of my close friends told me that I should join. I had no prerequisite or knowledge of what the JROTC program even was, but all I did was check off that box, and the rest, as they say, is history. My time in the JROTC program has given me many learning opportunities and experiences I most likely wouldn't have had if I hadn't taken that class. My experiences over JROTC have taught me a lot and taught me to learn, grow, and improve myself as a person. And because of that, I have taken this opportunity to come up here and speak to all of y'all today. I'm going to be speaking to you about my history in JROTC and what JROTC has done for me. I began JROTC my freshman year, simply taking the commands of what everyone told me in my class, following instruction, learning, listening, and improving. But before I could even begin to experience the true opportunities that JROTC had to offer, COVID hit. I was stuck inside. I didn't have many opportunities to do anything, and we were kind of just stuck. But that allowed me to become more involved with the program. Over this time in 2020, during the whole COVID era, there was one event that I witnessed that at that time didn't have any significance to me, but now in the future has probably shaped my entire life. In 2020, the Creek Fire in California had been ravaging the area of the Mammoth Pool Reservoir and had trapped 200 people in that area in a lake. What ended up happening is the brave men and women of the California National Guard flew in a Chinook and Black Hawk helicopter through the smoke-filled mountains of California, flew down and saved those 200 people. There is a photo of a Chinook helicopter with its searchlights landing in that area and people cheering knowing that they were going to be saved. That photo is what inspired me to join the Kansas Army National Guard as a 15 Tango Black Hawk helicopter mechanic, to hopefully be able to repair and maintain those helicopters that save many lives each year and possibly be on one of the crews to save people. I want to do search and rescue is what I'm trying to say. Over time, the JROTC program has taught me to be a leader, has given me experiences that no other program would have given me before. There's been a couple of learning curves over time. I was actually planning on being the battalion commander, but due to a couple, misinputs, for lack of a better word, I decided to become the executive officer again and give myself another opportunity to learn, grow, and improve.
Good morning, Superintendent Dr. Lisa Thomas, Deputy Superintendent Gil Alvarez, Assistant Superintendent Amanda Kingery, Colonel Hester, and the members of the Board of Education, principals and district court staff, family, friends, and distinguished guests. My name is Cadet Sergeant First Class Elena Adams from Jordan Semi Career Explorations Academy. I am the award-winning Junior Varsity Drill Commander and the commander of Jordan Jaguar Battalions. Today, I would like to talk to you about how leadership has showed great improvement to my life. I have been in Jordan's leadership program for 3 years. Every year in leadership has improved my maturity and decision making. The examples and lessons I've learned in leadership has progressed me towards the kind of life I want to live in the future. Leadership has helped me in and out of school to become a better person. Leadership has taught me how to be more responsible and open to change. Leadership has taught me that I must take responsibility for my own life, and I have to start acting more mature if I want to be successful in life. With the encouragement of my family and father, I've decided to participate on the drill team in 7th grade. My family's encouragement on JROTC is the source of pride that keeps me going. My sister Harmony Adams was the drill commander last year, so she really pushed me to become a commander this year. My father's vision isn't great, he is legally blind. He loves to hear the results of our drill meets. I try to show him what I can give him. I try to show him what drill is all about and what we do in drill. Hearing about drill really makes his day. I've learned that to be successful, you must take risks and get out of your comfort zone. So I took the advice and I got out of my comfort zone and I learned all 30 drill commands and I became a commander. This year when I'm in my uniform, I feel confident and strong. I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. In 7th grade, the drill commander, Jeremiah Ogan, inspired me to become a commander. I saw how hardworking and disciplined and serious he was every day at practices. I even tried to copy his examples as a commander. In leadership, our motto is a great leader is a great example. The drill team practices every day of the week because we want to be a competitive team. Sometimes we even practice on Saturdays, even if it was rain. We were willing to put in the effort and time to win. I've learned that I must commit and exercise discipline to become successful. Leadership has taught me that without respect and hard work, you won't be successful in this world. I take school seriously because I want to be successful in life. In leadership, we don't just learn about things for school, we talk about the reality of life. We talk about what the reality of life is outside of school and what skills our talents are needed in the real world. Leadership has motivated me to take school more seriously because life isn't play with me, so I don't play with life. I've learned in leadership that because life isn't planned, I must have a plan. Thanks to my sergeant, Master Sergeant Williams, who has taught me a lot of valuable lessons that will help me in the future in life. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity, and thank you for your time.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Zoe Wadey. I am First Sergeant at CMA Middle School. I've written about how leadership has instilled pride into me and my school. Leadership has encouraged me to be a leader, not just in school, but in my everyday life as well. I'm grateful to be a part of a program that teaches youth how to work hard, be a team player, and always do your best. Leadership has challenged me in many ways. I've learned in order to be successful, we all must work together as a team. There will be sacrifices, but the results are worth it. Leadership has helped me become a better role model because I know there are lots of kids looking up to me and want to learn what I do, so one day they can be in my position. I've taught my peers that you don't have to follow along with everyone else is doing. Being a leader isn't something to be embarrassed about, and nothing's wrong with doing the right thing. I've shown people no matter how cool or popular you are, you can still wear your uniform and participate in leadership activities no matter what others think about you. Leading a team through competitions and other leadership activities takes pride because it surely isn't easy. I have instilled pride in my team by celebrating the small wins. I have encouraged my team to stay focused and keep their head up. I make sure I always support them when they need me. As a leader, I have incredibly powerful pride, and I also instill that pride into my team. You cannot call yourself a leader if your team doesn't reflect the same pride as you. One trait that a leader must have is the ability to instill leadership skills into anyone by coaching, guiding, and supporting them. I always encourage my peers to be their own leader. Leadership has really changed me in a positive way. It has given me more opportunities, made me more responsible, helped me focus on my grades, and overall made me a better person. The pride and discipline leadership has instilled in me and my peers shows throughout my school, which displays a positive outcome that leadership provided. Seeing a positive change in my peers and seeing their progression through their grades and the way they act compared to before they joined leadership is very motivating. Before leadership, I didn't like coming to school as much. I wasn't much of a leader, and I wasn't focused on my grades or worried about being a good role model. Now that I've joined leadership, I have good grades, I like coming to school, and I'm a good role model. When I joined leadership, our leader was Sergeant Martin. He left shortly after he got there. We then got multiple subs, which caused me not to take leadership seriously because they didn't care what we did. I didn't wear my uniform, and when I did wear it, I would put it on when I went to class, and then I would take it off after. I didn't think wearing the uniform was cool. I also didn't care, and I didn't have a sergeant who cared. After a while, we finally got a good leader, Staff Sergeant Coleman. He changed the way I look at leadership. He helped guide me in the right direction. Now I lead every competition, and I'm teaching the younger kids how to lead a group so when I leave, they can take over. Staff Sergeant Coleman has also made me think about high school options and makes me take my grades serious so I can get accepted into the high school I want to attend. Staff Sergeant Coleman helped me change my performance in school, and the outlook on leadership. Staff Sergeant Coleman showed me that wearing my uniform is cool, and he believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. Staff Sergeant Coleman made me a better person in and outside of school. He made me think about the choices of friends I hang out with, and I know if I need something, he's there for me. I know Staff Sergeant Coleman instilled leadership into me, and leadership instilled pride into me, and I instill pride into my school.
Hi everyone, it's nice to see all of you guys here. I am Staff Sergeant Wynn from Meade Middle School, and I am an 8th grade cadet. I am looking forward to being in the JROTC program in high school. I plan on making the most of my high school years so I can be successful in college and life. Today, I will be presenting on what leadership has taught me about citizenship, especially because my family and I aren't from the United States. I came from Vietnam when I was young and I grew up in the United States. And although I was raised in the United States, I didn't really understand how everything worked here. I didn't even know what citizens were, yet there I was surrounded by citizens. Growing up with parents that didn't speak English well, I navigated around and learned English at school, and I spoke Vietnamese at home. I started learning about the government, but I didn't truly understand it until now because of this leadership program. At first, I had no interest in being in the leadership program. I thought it was all about push-ups and people yelling at you. But here I am. I have a proud family that I can go to for help. I have my sergeant to help me, Sergeant Melendez, and I feel really comfortable, and that's what inspires me to go to school often. To start off, what is citizenship? Citizenship is a position or status of being a citizen of a particular country. So what has leadership taught me about citizenship? Leadership taught me the responsibilities of being a citizen of the U.S., such as voting in federal elections, being involved in community service, and obeying the law, and many more. Although I am only 14 and cannot participate in federal elections, I can obey the law and be involved in community service without expecting anything back. Leadership taught me about our government and the citizens of this country. I learned the responsibilities of a U.S. citizen through actions such as participating in community service, learning about the Constitution and how they protect our rights while studying for my honorary cadet board. I learned about the history of the U.S. and about all the veterans who have sacrificed everything for this country and our freedom. Not only has leadership taught me about citizenship, but leadership showed me the honors of being a citizen. As I mentioned before, I was born in Vietnam, so the only reason why I am a citizen now is because my dad was a citizen, so I was born a citizen. In this past year, I have seen my mom study day and night to be a U.S. citizen, and it inspired me to never give up, seeing my mom working very hard to get something I was born with, U.S. citizenship. I am a citizen who not only cares, but acts. I always strive to help my peers achieve success, as in our cadet creed. I always strive to educate myself, and I take on my responsibilities as a U.S. citizen. And during the time I've been in leadership, I applied what I learned to my life. Not only has leadership taught me about my liberty, but also taught me how to be more kind to others as a part of being a citizen. I should be proud to call myself a citizen of the U.S. because many others would do so much to be a citizen of this great country. Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Thompson, Board of Education members, administrators, instructors, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow cadets. I am Cadet Sergeant First Class Daisy Palmerin. Voy a hacer mi discurso en español para que la mayoría de las personas que no sepan que me equivoco. So what I just said in Spanish is that I'm going to do my speech in Spanish. So if I mess up, you guys won't know. But today, I'm here to talk to you guys about community service. Dos de mis proyectos favoritos de los que voy a hablar son Cowtown y Cars for Charity Car Show. Just kidding, just kidding. Two of my favorite projects that I will be speaking about today are Cowtown and Cars for Charity Car Show. First, Cowtown, since this was our last big project. I think it was a very cool experience helping elementary youth experience Wichita in the late 1800s. What I like about the event is that we can get to work with little kids. So that means we can influence their life by how we act around them. Some of the times that means we work with them because they need help. One other thing that I enjoy is that the actual workers are very happy with our work, and they are very thankful. At this event, we assisted in several aspects of the project, from the grain elevator to the weigh station to making soap and rope. I helped in the saloon, assisting the customers selling sarsaparilla root beer. This event made me feel good about myself because I was able to help them out and get a little experience about Wichita's past, on how life used to be before the modern age. I don't think I could be successful back then in those days without technology, such as fridges, air conditioning, washers, and dryers. It would have been a very difficult life. We have had several projects that have influenced me as a young Pleasant Valley Middle School cadet. The second one is Cars for Charity Car Show. All the proceeds for this show go towards two local charities, Starkey and Ability Point, that helps individuals with intellectual and/or development disabilities. We had 27 cadets from PV volunteering at Century 2 for 5 hours on a Friday night after a long educational day at school. We ran the kids zone, took tickets, and assisted in all aspects of the show. We have been participating in this event for 15 years. Several other schools were also able to assist in this event on the other days. I got to help around the bouncy house to make sure the kids were safe and having a good time. I really enjoy that I can do community service because I know that some other middle schools don't have the leadership program. In conclusion, I would like to thank you for letting me speak today about the great opportunity of the leadership program. Community service has given me an opportunity to give back to my community that helps provide for my education. It ensures that we are working towards our purpose, direction, and motivates us to experience the great opportunity of giving back. I will be attending North High School next year with an inspiration of becoming a real estate agent. Look for me when you want to buy your next dream house. I will be the agent who appreciates your business. Hooah!
Okay, as most of you know, I normally don't talk at the superintendent's breakfast, but I have a reason today to come up here. I'm going to talk about one of our instructors, but before I do that, I just want to welcome everyone here. A special welcome to the Morrises, the parents of our superintendent, and to Sheila Kennard. Sheila is the daughter of one of our past BOE presidents, Joe Brown, and we are hoping that Joe would come today because she's been a mentor to a lot of us for many years. Mr. Morris, would you come up for just a minute, please? In the military, we recognize people who have done exceptional things in the military, and we're going to make an exception today, Mr. Morris, because you gave us your daughter in the 50,000 who has trained and mentored the 50,000 children in our school district, and I have a commander's coin that I would like to present to you with our thanks for providing her to us. Thank you very much. Okay, Major Andy Traeger is decided to retire at the end of this school year. Andy joined us in 1997. When we started the leadership program, he was in the first group of instructors that came here. Since he has been the instructor at Pleasant Valley Middle School, his cadets have just performed exceptionally. Andy's been recognized by the governor of Iowa, his home state, the governor of Kansas, for what he's done in the leadership program. The mayor of our city, he was awarded the city medallion for his service to the district. Andy his kids have performed over 60,000 hours of community service a few years ago. He had his cadets collected 6,300 toys for the Marine Corps Troops Toys for Tots program. It took a semi truck to pick all those toys up and deliver those to the Marines. He took a group of a dozen cadets to Washington, D.C. to assist the World War II veterans that were in the Honor Flight program here in Kansas. But the most important thing about Andy is that he was our first group of instructors in the leadership program, and he helped develop the leadership program. And you heard from the cadet, four of the leadership cadets today. Andy he's been on the leading edge of developing and refining the curriculum for our leadership program, and we are going to miss him. And I just wanted to tell you about Andy, and he's got a few remarks that he wants to say, and I'm sure that Andy is going to be like some of our other instructors, like Mike George and Don Phillips, who are here today. They have retired from the school district, but they stay connected with us, and that shows the value of that they place on what we do here in junior ROTC and leadership. So, Andy, come on up. I'm going to ask you to say a few things.
Dr. Thompson, Board of Education members, administrators, instructors, ladies and gentlemen, but last but not least, cadets. I would like to commend you guys for the great job you've done today. Colonel Hester, during one of our leadership meetings, was asked by Master Sergeant Mike Williams from Jordan. He says, we've heard great testimonies from students, cadets, parents, and administrators, but we've never heard from an instructor. I think Major Andy Traeger should speak, since this is his last year. And I was thinking to myself, there is no way that I want to get up in front of these people here today, because there's no way to compete with these cadets. These cadets have poured out their stories about what they've done and how they made a difference in Wichita and the surrounding communities. So when I got home, my daughter said, "Dad, you can do it." Now, Tara's here today. She helped me write this. So she encouraged me, because I was going to call Colonel the next day and say, "No, sorry, sir. They don't want to hear from me. They heard from the cadets." So thanks, Tara, for encouraging me, because I need it. Now, the communication speaker today from Heights, I need some more points, because it was easy at home in front of the mirror and at the school in front of the kids, and now I'm here. It's like, okay, take a breath. All right. So first thing my daughter did was she pulled up a quote, and I'm going to read that today. It says, "Leadership is not about titles, positions, or work hours. It's about relationships." The quote comes from Jim Coase, perfectly summarizes what the leadership program is important and why it has helped students throughout the district. It helps students learn responsibilities, important lessons, and provide purpose, direction, and motivation at this time, and in the future, all their future endeavors. Over the past 26 years, we have heard from some great cadets, parents, and administrators about the leadership program and the junior ROTC program, how it has developed, inspired, and changed cadets, and have been part of this great district. So, this program 26 years ago when we designed it, it was to provide cadets with purpose, direction, and motivation to become better citizens of this country. You know, as I look back over the past 26 years, I see some failures. I see some setbacks, and I see some accomplishments. So as I see back past the 26 years, I see failures, setbacks, and accomplishments. If I could change or adapt anything, so looking back over the 26 years, one of the failures that I see is programs that we have started, but because of funding or loss of support, they're no longer with us. And these schools that had the program that don't have it anymore are missing out. And I understand it's a funding issue sometimes, but in the long run, what we're providing these kids, we can overcome that. Another setback, now, don't take this personal, eye observations. So eye observations are what they do for teachers. So when you come in, the administrators come in. Now, district administrators and principals, if you take out your electronic device, just like you're going to do an eye observation for me, but before you do my eye observation, I want you to consider something. I was the first instructor hired. I helped write the SRGs over in the room over here with Major Shelley Harmon. This falls under communication, standard student reference grading, SRG 3. Now, the bad part about SRG 3, you tell the kids, hey, we're doing SRG 3, we're talking about communication. And 2 minutes they're into the lesson, administration comes into the room and says, what standard are you going over today? And they said, it's on the board. That's my favorite part. It's on the board. It's standard reference 3, communication. Now, when we talk about communication, what do we want to express? How do we want to express it? So, when we look at communication, what's the key point? So, over the last 26 years, this program has meant a lot to me. It has helped develop and inspire our future leaders. As I look back, the things that I could do different. It's amazing to see, the growth of the program over the 26 years. So now the accomplishments. So over the last 26 years, and this is just Pleasant Valley's accomplishments, there's a lot of instructors doing a lot of great things for Wichita and the surrounding communities. We have performed over 60,000 hours of community service. So that's 60,000 hours where cadets were into the community making a difference. We have raised over 60,000 toys with Toys for Tots. So now that's 60,000 needy children in Wichita that got a toy at Christmas because of cadets at Pleasant Valley Middle School. I can still remember our first community service project. We built a wheelchair ramp with Mennonite housing. One of the students, Evan, is now completing his doctoral degree in music education. Another one is Sarah. She's the head nurse at the burn unit at St. Francis. And Lori, the third cadet that helped with the ramp, is a nurse at Fort Riley. All of these kids and the support of a lot of teachers have made this program into what it is. Colonel Hester, thank you for starting the middle school program. See, I was looking for a job when I got this one. As I was on my way to my job interview, I had a little accident with my brother's brand new car, so I had to take a job far out of state. He received a bill a month after I got to work. After I received my first paycheck, he called and says, hey, I received a bill. And my first paycheck as a school teacher would not even cover the bill. I was glad I was 500 miles south when he received that because it was, and he was great about it. He says, hey, I'll take care of it because it doesn't look like you have enough money. So in conclusion, Superintendent Thompson, Board of Education members and district leaders who believed in Colonel Hester's direction and idea, to the cadets that have made a difference in Wichita, thank you. Over half my life I've spent sharing with cadets in Wichita Public Schools a purpose, a direction, and motivation to make better citizens. Thank you for being a great district taking the time to invest in the future leaders of the greatest country the world has ever known. Hua.
Before we conclude our program, I would like to ask for Ms. Kinnard and then for Ms. Morris to come up along with our superintendent. So we would like to present some flowers to Ms. Morris along with Ms. Kinnard.
I'll give it to Mom. I'll give it to Mom. I'll give him a joke.
And then for our superintendent, I would like to have, we handed this to you, but I'm going to read it off. We can both look at it together here. So it says, Dr. Alicia Thompson, 2017 throughout 2022, says, thank you for all of the cadets, cadre, and administration for your outstanding support to the Wichita Public School Junior Reserve Officer Training Course and Leadership Program. Your tremendous support resulted in the success of over 14,000 cadets during your time as superintendent and has no doubt affected the future of these citizens for the better. May you be fully successful in your next adventure. Leadership, honor, and discipline. If you'd like to make any comments.
Well, oh, you guys don't have to stand for the whole time. Unless you want to stand. First of all, I'd just like to say thank you to all of you who have are in attendance. And I'm just going to kind of give some shout outs to some folks before I begin my remarks. If we have any veterans in the room, would you please stand? Veterans, please stand so that we can recognize you. Thank you for your service. We appreciate you. And I'm also going to give another shout out to Sheila Kennard. I would like for you to give your mom a message for me, please. Her mom was on a board of education. She was a member of the board of education. She was the first African-American woman to serve in that seat. And she has big shoulders that we are standing upon today. So please give her our love and tell her we missed her today. All right, thank you. And I would be remiss if I did not thank all of our JROTC leadership and all of the instructors. You all are awesome. And you are building our future leaders in this district. I was listening to them as they were speaking, and you all did a fantastic job. Getting up in front of folks speaking is what? Scary. And it is really tough to get in front of people. But you are in the right program and you are in the right district to get the skills that you need to be able to do that. If you don't know, I was a student in the Wichita Public Schools, and my mom and dad put me in programs that taught me how to be respectful, like you talked about, stepping out of your comfort zone, which I talk in front of my family a lot, but in public I'd rather stay in the background. They taught me how to step out of my comfort zone and get out there and make a difference. They taught me how to have hard work, to work hard, and to always have a plan A, B, C, and D. And my staff will tell you always like, okay, what's the plan A? What's B, C, and D? That's what good leaders do, is you have a plan, and you follow that plan, you execute that plan. You surround yourself with good people, and you create teamwork, because you can't do anything by yourself. You have to have lots of people to help you to get things done. And then one thing they also taught me is to keep God first in everything that I do. And that is how you become a great leader. And all of you are on your way. I guess you're not already on your way. You're already doing it, right? You are already leaders in this school district. And we can't be more proud of you and the work that you all are doing, not only in the school district, but in this community. You all are out doing community service. You're out representing us. And we are so WPS proud of you, and we look forward to all of the great things that we expect from you moving forward in the future. So without further ado, I am complete with my remarks. And so I'm going to actually, before I leave, I would like to ask You guys, y'all three come see me. Why you trying to give me something? I'd like to give you something too. All right. So, who's the Corps Commander? Come on up, Corps Commander. You're going to be the first woman to do something too, right? Tell me what you said you was going to be the first woman to do?
To go through the 22 weeks of infantry school.
That's what I'm talking about. So I would like to present you with a coin. And this is the Wichita Public Schools coin. And we don't give these out very often, but we give them to outstanding leaders within our school districts, and you are one of them. And I can't wait to continue to watch what you're going to do. So, Deputy Commander Jacob Berry, how are you, sir?
I'm all right, ma'am. All
right, so I would like to present to you a challenge coin from the Wichita Public Schools, and thank you for your leadership. All right. Jordan, I'd like to present to you a coin, challenge coin from the Wichita Public Schools, and thank you for your leadership. All right, so let's give these three a wonderful round of applause.
One last thank you to our superintendent, because we wouldn't have been able to make this happen without you.